A little while. Stop doing that.
Welcome to Primetime, everybody. This is our 2023 horror movie bracket. I'm your host, Henry Chambliss, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Chad and Carrie. How's it going, guys?
It's going great. Interesting idea to do a bracket of 2023 horror movies. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Chad has the website pulled up as always. So if you guys are ready, let's get to our first matchup. I'm super excited to get into this.
Oof. Me too.
Absolutely. All
I
right.
feel 5 million times better now that I found my cat's pill that I dropped and my
Oh, there you go.
is coming over tomorrow. So, okay. Disaster averted.
What a relief. Now let's get into the bracket. So yeah, essentially all we're doing is we decided to do a half bracket. So we picked 16 of what we thought were the best or maybe the most interesting horror movies from 2023 as we look forward to the 2024 horror slate. So let's find out what we collectively, the three of us, think might be the best one. All right, the first matchup is Megan versus No One Will Save You.
Ooh, aliens versus robots.
Two interesting movies here, yeah.
Who wants to start with this one?
All right. Hunter, you
Carrie,
start.
you want to start?
Oh. Or Carrie, go ahead.
All right, I'll go ahead. No One Will Save You. I feel like the concept is cooler than the actual movie. And so, like, the movie, it was cool, but I wasn't crazy impressed with it. Megan is just so much fun, though. It knows what it is. Like, it is this crazy-ass doll. She became a meme. I can't wait for the second one. This was just overall a very fun movie, a great way to start off the year, actually. So I'm going with Megan.
Chad?
Okay. Yeah, this one's interesting. Neither of these I really love all that much. Megan, I think, has a big potential to grow on me if I watch the rated R cut of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed most of the movie, and I did actually think it had a really good story with Violet McGraw and Allison Williams. I thought were really great in it. And I liked the one comedian guy that's in it who plays the CEO or the guy who's running things at the company.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Let me see if I can look up his name.
He's really funny. Yeah, I do think that one has a potential to grow on me. I think No One Will Save You. I'm kind of in the same camp. I know a lot of people love that movie, but I thought it tried to go to Annihilation without being as interesting as Annihilation is. And but it did have a lot of really cool sequences and scares. But I'll give the slight edge to Megan here. I agree with Carrie.
All right, so Megan moves on. I probably would have gone with Megan as well. No One Will Save You. I think, more than you guys. I think it was a really cool concept. Is it Devers? Deaver did really well in this movie, but overall, I had way more fun with Megan. I think just the concept, and as Carrie pointed out, the movie knows exactly what it is and plays up on the cheese and the camp factor in a way that I really enjoyed. So I would have gone with Megan as well.
All right, and the next matchup is going to be Run Rabbit Run, which Hunter just saw.
Fresh on my mind.
And Saw X, speaking of Saw.
Two completely different types of films.
Yes, very much so.
I'll start with this one, if you guys don't mind.
Go for it, yeah.
So I actually really enjoyed Run Rabbit Run as much, I think more than a lot of people did if I looked at the reviews and stuff, but I think me personally, I would go with Saw X. Not only did I have more fun in Saw X with the traps and the invention of the traps, but the overall story of Saw X, I really love because it made it a personal story about John Kramer as a character, not really as, Jigsaw as this larger than life character. You got to see his trials and tribulations in this film, which gave you enough to root for him in this film, and the traps were so fun. So I'm going Saw X.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So, this one is interesting. Both of these have kind of like interesting stories. Carrie and I saw Run Rabbit Run back when it was at Sundance. It was just one of the horror movies we happened to get. Other people we knew were getting that, and we actually have to talk about what movies we're going to do this year because Sundance is upon us. Um, but Run Rabbit Run, we were looking forward to, and then we were like one of the last ones to watch it in the Sundance thing, and a lot of people I had heard of were like, "That is a terrible movie." They were like, "It's so bad." And then I was like, "Oh, damn it, okay." And then Carrie and I watched it. And we were like, "I don't think it's that bad. Like, I don't think
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
not bad.
amazing, but I don't think it's like terrible or anything." I think a big criticism of it would be the story's kind of thin. Like things just happen, and nothing's really like there's no like setup and payoff or something really. Although Hunter just watched it and we haven't seen it in a long time.
It's been almost a year
Yeah.
since we've seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I'm not again, but same as Hunter. I really dug Saw X, and I did not think I was going to, and I was very excited to see it because it was getting strong reviews. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, this is probably the best Saw movie in years, or maybe just the best Saw movie because it feels so contained. It's very scary, very hard to watch at times. It's got everything that makes a Saw movie good. So I'll go Saw X.
Carrie?
I would have went Run Rabbit Run, but y'all know how I feel about Saw.
That's fair.
Oh, the next matchup is Talk to Me versus
Ooh.
It's a Wonderful Knife.
Ooh.
Again, two very different movies.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll start since I haven't started yet. It's obvious what I'm going with. I'm going with Talk to Me in this one. I don't know how many movies on this list like Talk to Me would not beat, because I just think Talk to Me is just such an incredible movie. I'm so excited to rewatch this one. I feel like this one is one I could just watch a lot and just like love. I feel like it's not only the best of 2023, but I think it's probably the best in a very long time that I've seen of horror movies. Maybe on rewatch I'll like it less than I did, but I'm still on that high of like that was a pretty incredible movie, and I didn't expect to see something as cool and original as that was. It's a Wonderful Knife was surprising because it's kind of like a It's a Wonderful Life parody, but horror slasher. But it's also a Christmas movie, which is really cool. So there's a lot of stuff in it that I really dug, and I dug some of the stuff that happened in it. But I think the overall story in that one is also not kind of thin as well, and not very. I have to rewatch it again and go like, did the story actually make sense in parts? But ultimately, I think it was a really cool, and some of the performances were cool. So I do recommend that one to people, especially around Christmas time. But I'm going Talk to Me easily.
Carrie?
Yeah, It's a Wonderful Knife was pretty fun, but Talk to Me was just like such a standout. It was really incredibly filmed. The concept is so cool. The metaphors in it, payoff. Hands down, Talk to Me.
Yes, I definitely agree with Talk to Me. I think just overall, it's a better film. It's a better made film. I think the acting is incredible in Talk to Me. I have a lot of fun with It's a Wonderful Knife, and I love those style of movies. But overall, man, Talk to Me just hit me on a different level. So Talk to Me as well.
100%. All right, next matchup is Evil Dead Rise versus Scream 6.
Oh,
Why?
I know, right? Why?
It's not fair
No.
that these two movies are matched up together. with that.
Well,
Two
probably
franchise
will
horrors.
at some point, anyways. But it makes
Yeah.
it interesting, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, it
like
really does.
two,
Carrie, do you want to start?
it's like two like franchise movies going up against each
Yeah.
other, and they're arguably both really good ones.
I'll
So
start. This is difficult. I won't be mad if either of these moves on. Like, honestly, these are maybe my own personal top two of the year. So it's sad to see that one of them go this early. I think ultimately, though, I am going to go with Scream 6. For one, like, I wasn't the biggest fan of Scream 2022. And I think Scream 6 really rejuvenated I don't want to say rejuvenated the franchise. Like, I always love the franchise, but I think it brought it back and made me appreciate Scream 2022 more. The acting is really fantastic. I'm a sucker for a story about two sisters, which this definitely is. I loved the twists in this movie. That, I guess I don't want to super spoil anything, but the killers are something that's never been done in a Scream movie before. Evil Dead Rise was absolutely amazing. It's so gory. It's fantastic. But it is also, they're both pretty dark, but Evil Dead Rise is like maybe the darkest of all of the Evil Dead movies. I feel like even the Evil Dead remake is like a little campy. Sometimes this one is pretty, I wouldn't say there's any camp here. There's no humor. It's really straight horror. And they don't mind going for the kids. So it's a little bit harder to watch. So I'm going Scream 6.
let me do the bridge, and then I'll make Hunter decide because I know he also really loves both of those, and I'm excited to see actually which one he might choose.
Curse you, Chad.
I do think it's going to be a little bit hard for him, despite, like, I know he loves Scream, as we all do, but Evil Dead Rise I know he particularly really likes. But I also really like both of these, and everything Carrie said is pretty accurate. I would say, let us not forget that Evil Dead Rise is also a story about sisters.
That's true.
So
Yep.
you're looking at both movies that are about sisters.
How many sisters survive at the end?
That's true.
That's fair.
Scream 6 is just a really interesting case for me because I was at the same boat as Carrie where, like, unlike Hunter, I didn't instantly love Scream 2022. I just had, like, well, I really liked it when I first saw it. I was on that high of, like, Scream's back kind of a deal. And then as I watched it, it went lower for me. But then watching Scream 6, I was like, okay, I can kind of see what they're doing. Like, their deal is kind of panning out for me. And then Radio Silence dropped. And they were like, we're going to go do our own thing over here now. And I'm like, instead of completing your trilogy, you're going to go do something else. And then we got some hope with Christopher Landon. And then everything started to fall apart. And we were losing actors. And the director got cut.
Scream 7's cursed, man.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's very cursed. And it's very interesting to see, like, what we might get. I do think Scream 6 kind of ended in a way where it's sort of satisfying, but I still feel like they probably were trying to go for like a trilogy, which I think is like a mistake because I don't feel like the first Scream was trying to do a trilogy. It was trying to be a great movie, and I don't think Scream 2022 was trying to do that. But Scream 6 kind of feels like it's in the middle of a bunch of stuff, and it doesn't feel as satisfying. I'm gonna go Evil Dead Rise because I rewatched Evil Dead Rise, and I feel like on Scream 6 rewatch, it didn't hit me as much as it did when I first watched it. But Evil Dead Rise on rewatch, I was like, this thing freaking like holds up, and I was like seeing plot points, like I was seeing like things that were hinted at the beginning of the movie were paying off towards the middle and end of it. And I just really like the story that was like You know, it was a very simple story, but it was also like very different for an Evil Dead movie because the remake was just that. It was a remake. It was a good remake and really well done. And it's different from what we got with the Raimi films. But this one was also different, but even different in like a story way. And I thought it was like really cool that they did it in like this high rise building and cut off from with the elevator and stuff. And that end sequence with the wood chipper or whatever it is incredible.
Best kill at the Primetime Awards.
Yeah, and just to see like the body horror that they do in that movie, I just think is so incredible. These are two titans of movies. So it sounds like I didn't love Scream 6. I did. I really liked Scream 6, but I'm just gonna give the slight edge to Evil Dead Rise just because I don't know, I think it was done just slightly better.
Okay, this is tough because Evil Dead Rise is my favorite Evil Dead movie. I've watched it 3 times already.
Wow.
Scream 6 is high up for me in the Scream franchise as well. I'd probably put it at 3 just because I love the first 2 so much.
Yeah.
But all right, I gotta go with the one I've watched more and I have more entertainment value with. I'm going Scream 6.
Okay.
Slightly. Because I love the dynamic of the sisters. I think Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera have great chemistry. And they bounce off each other really well. Scream 6 also has great comedy moments that really help with when the movie gets too dark. There's some sort of comedy there to balance it out really well. And I really love Scream 6's opening. I think the opening sequence with the fake killer reveal, or the killer reveal, and then another killer comes in. I think that was done so well, and just a lot of like great Easter eggs and stuff in this one. Evil Dead Rise has had a fantastic opening scene as well, very gory, very brilliant on the pier. But I watched Scream 6 more and had more entertainment value with Scream 6, so I'm going slight edge to Scream 6.
I will say the Scream 6 opening is better than the Evil Dead Rise opening, but I like the rest of the Evil Dead Rise movie. I think a little more than Scream 6, but I do owe Scream 6 another watch. I can't wait to do like a there's 6 movies now. I need to do like 3 and then 3 kind of a deal. Break it up into 2 sittings and just watch the entire Scream franchise again. All right, Scream 6 is moving on, or Panico 6, whatever that says.
You did that last time too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I did. All right,
the 2022
to the next side. The next matchup is Totally Killer, Totally. And I did another Spanish thing there, I guess. Versus Thanksgiving, the new Eli Roth film.
This works well with each other. Both are super campy, but they're both really good. Chad, you want to start with this one?
Sure. Carrie and I recently got to see Thanksgiving, and I'm really glad that we did because I really, really, really like Thanksgiving. The only other Eli Roth movie I've seen in full is Cabin Fever. And
have you not seen the Hostel movies?
I haven't seen the Hostels. And I don't know if those would necessarily be my speed. But Cabin Fever was interesting, but it was like, it's one of those where I'm like, is this slightly good or is this just slightly bad? And I'm just
it's kind of both.
It's like in the middle where I'm like, it's interesting, but it's weird. There's one joke in it that's super problematic that I still found very funny that I will not talk about here. It's not appropriate. But Thanksgiving, a friend of the channel, John Marr, said to us one time, if you watch Cabin Fever and then you watch Thanksgiving, you can see the evolution of Eli Roth, that he got so much better with Thanksgiving. And I really, really like that movie. I thought that the kills in it were really cool, but it did still have this like overall story that was really cool. And it feels like more than just a gimmick. It just feels like a movie that I'm going to be like, it's Thanksgiving. We have to watch Thanksgiving. I'm really excited every year to throw on Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. And it was that Grindhouse movie trailer that Carrie and I saw Grindhouse in the theater. the Grindhouse trailer that they did made into a full movie, and I just think it's a really cool thing. So I think Edgar Wright did one called No or Stop or something, or Don't. He needs to make that movie.
A lot of those fake trailers from the Grindhouse movies have been made into full length features. Like that's where the machete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Totally Killer was so a surprise. It was fun. I really like Kieran and Shipka a lot. But I just don't think it has the same effect and like good story and kills that Thanksgiving does. Totally Killer's more of like, I guess it's not totally a teenage movie. It's some pretty adult jokes in it, but I don't know. It just feels not as like mature and like horror as Thanksgiving does. Thanksgiving scared the shit out of me. So, and it was funny. It was funny at the beginning with the mall shopping and stuff.
Yeah. Carrie?
Yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah, okay. So the
hell?
I'm trying to I know I'm glitching out.
Hunter, what are you trying?
These are both, I think many of these movies are like, kind of similar ranked in my mind. Like pretty good, not the best of the year. Yeah, I think I'll have to agree with Chad though and go with Thanksgiving because I do think that has more staying power just because it is, I think, the only good Thanksgiving horror movie that's ever been made.
Yeah, because we don't talk about Thanksgiving
or Poultrygeist or
so many bad ones.
Yeah, and it was really a lot of it was really fun and like very campy and like I think played into that. Honestly, I've gotten to be a bit of a baby with gore, so it was a little too, I want to say it was too gory for me. I'm hoping one day I will again be able to enjoy but there are some parts where I like literally turned away, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing in a horror movie sometimes. But yeah, I'm going with Thanksgiving.
I think that's why she chose Scream as well. It's not as like gory.
Yes,
there's cut 'em up, but it's not like the
Evil Dead.
No,
is like,
Evil Dead. Wild.
I think that's the goriest one.
Those are the ones I end up picking, so it's weird. I guess I like the body more and the gore. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have gone with Thanksgiving as well. I think it was such a fun movie. I think that opening scene with the Black Friday massacre was brilliantly done. The gore, the practical effects are amazing. Totally Killer is so much fun though. I love these type of Freaky Friday turn horror movie type things where they take non-horror movies and turn them into horror. I think they're so much fun, and this one has a really nice like 80s camp to it. But Thanksgiving is just, not only is it a good overall like mystery, but it's overall a better shot story.
Yeah, and Thanksgiving had this like really funny, like over the top kind of death where there's this guy, he like gets like mortally wounded, but he still runs over because it's like commentary on like consumerism and stuff. And whatnot. Like, back in the day, they used to do stuff.
Yeah.
Just
the guy who has his neck cut open, he's still reaching for the toaster oven.
Yes, yeah, that was the guy who's like mortally wounded. He's like, I need to get my waffles. And
it's waffle maker. It's so funny,
so ridiculous. With something that Eli Roth would do.
Yes.
All right, moving on to the next matchup. I want to rewatch Thanksgiving right now.
Yeah, you gotta wait till Thanksgiving.
Oh shit! I gotta get it on Blu-ray. All right, moving on. We have Sick versus Knock at the Cabin.
Ooh,
this is an interesting matchup. I still don't know what I'm gonna go with here.
Two kind of home invasion type movies too.
Yeah. All right, so someone go, or I'll go. Someone go, because I want.
Carrie, you want to go?
Sure, I'll go. I mean, this is like also both of these movies are pretty equal in my mind. And not as good as the two movies we just talked about, though. I think I think for my first impressions of these movies, I think Knock at the Cabin. I think I'm gonna go with Knock at the Cabin. I think it was the slightly better movie. And a lot of my big problems with Knock at the Cabin were surrounding that, like the trailers for Knock at the Cabin completely gave the entire plot of the movie away. Like
Yeah.
really was not surprised for a single second in that movie. But it was very well acted. Dave Bautista got our prime
Best actor.
best actor award. And I think actually for that reason alone, that kind of edges this out over Sick.
All right, Chad, you want to go, or do you want me to go?
You go and I'll run it out.
All right, so I actually really love Sick. I only watched it once though. I'll have to go back and rewatch it to see if my mind has changed. But it was written by Kevin Williamson, of course, of Scream fame, and I think you could really tell it's his style of comedy. Really,
Yeah.
you know, like not combative, but like having people go back and forth in arguments, and that's what he does really well. Is like have people go back and forth. I love the use of like the COVID killer and the reveal of this. I think was really timely and really cool. How they kind of did the pandemic and the the slasher film to put it together. I think it was a really fun movie, but I'm going to give a slight edge to Knock at the Cabin as well. I think overall it's a better movie. It stays in one place. You feel for the main characters. Jonathan Groff is incredible in this movie. Dave Bautista is amazing. Overall, I felt myself enjoying Knock at the Cabin more and watched it more than I have Sick. So Knock at the Cabin for me.
Yeah. So this is interesting because Sick I just watched because I
Mhm.
was like, we watched it such a long time ago. It came out like the beginning of 2023
Mhm.
that I
Yeah.
was like, I barely remember what even happens in that movie. So I rewatched it, and to my surprise, I was actually really, really digging a lot, like a big stretch of it. I was like, as soon as they get to the house, and they have a weird conversation about a baby having a snake in its mouth and dying, and it's just a weird. It's like I don't know why Kevin Williamson wrote that in there. Didn't add it to the rest of the movie, I don't think. But it's just like weird conversations about that. But then I was kind of digging some of the story from there, and just like all of the action when it started to be like the home invasion type of thing, I thought was really cool, well shot. Like a lot of the scares of people just kind of like being in frames
Mhm.
behind someone, I thought was like really cool and scary. Um, but I don't like that they tied it so closely to COVID because it dates it so much where it's like if they wanted to do like a timely like COVID thing, they could have just made it like a generic disease or something like you gave my kid a disease or something like that because I feel like
Yeah.
if COVID's like not a thing in the future, then people are gonna go, "What the hell is this? What are they talking about?" It just like dates it so much that I'm just like, I don't know how rewatchable it's gonna be in the future. And it nothing else in it really elevates it to where it's like, well, I know it has the COVID stuff, but everything else is
Mhm.
incredible. But Knock at the Cabin also isn't a very good movie in my opinion. Like I do like the acting, but I didn't really nothing else in it really grabbed me. Although I do want to give it a rewatch down the line, especially if I do like a M Night Shyamalan ranking at some point. I'm excited to revisit it just to see where it would
Mhm.
rank amongst all of his films. But I would give the slight edge to Knock at the Cabin because I do think there's stuff in it that would warrant a rewatch, whereas I think the COVID stuff dating Sick kind of makes it not that.
Can I have a counter argument to that real
Yeah,
quick if you
sure,
don't mind?
absolutely.
I think it actually will look better as the years go on with Sick, only because I don't think people will ever forget what happened in 2020 with the COVID thing. So that's always going to be in human history from now on, just because of the effect of it. So I think if you watch this movie 10 years down the line, it may date it slightly, but you'll know what he's talking about. Like, it's not going to be one that will ever be forgotten
I
in
mean,
human
we
history.
we will, but like even when I'm
Kevin Williamson's coming for you.
even when I'm looking at I'm sick. No, I'm not. Even when I'm looking at like something from like the 20s and they're talking about like something that
The
happened
plague.
then, I might kind of understand what they're saying, but it's still like I'm like I don't know what the hell they're talking about. So at one point, I feel like people will know kind of. It's not worth getting into really unless we're
Yeah.
trying to like actually dive deep into sick. I can see your point, but for me, I was just like, wear your mask. It was kind of cool where it was like wear the mask and there was chloroform in the mask. Anyways,
Yeah.
so moving on to the next matchup, we have. All right, this is Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls. Didn't see it? You should. Versus Renfield. All right, two horror comedies.
Yeah.
And
So,
2 picked by Carrie.
yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Hunter, you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. All right. So I finished watching Onyx the Fortuitous and can't say I liked it that much. The awkward comedy, it works for some movies. For me, it didn't really work in this one, but I can see why people would have a fun time with it. But I really enjoyed Renfield. I think overall the use of the Renfield and Dracula storyline with this kind of comedic element of Renfield being like the servant of Dracula, serving him like souls and victims and stuff is really funny. How they used it as a metaphor for like, a toxic relationship in a way was hilarious. I love Nick Cage, so I'm going with Renfield.
I'll go, and then I'll let you round it out.
Perfect.
Onyx was a movie that we saw at Sundance online. Like the other movie we were talking about, Run Rabbit Run. And Carrie was telling me that Andrew Bowser is his name.
Mm-hmm.
He is the director of the movie, right? And also the star. He plays Onyx. If you haven't seen them, he's played this character for a while, and it's like if you look at YouTube, you can find them. It's like Onyx, but it's like videos titled like weird, crazy, like not atheist, satanic guy.
That's funny. I didn't realize it was a real thing.
He'll show up like on the news as that character, and they'll pan to him, and he'll just go like, "Things are crazy out here," and stuff like that. And it's just like the way he talks as that character is just like really funny. So for me, Onyx really worked. Honestly, I feel like Onyx, if you like the character of Onyx, and I don't know, kind of a deal, and he just like keeps doing that shtick. If you like that, I feel like you could probably watch him do anything. And for me, I was just on board with watching him do anything. And I liked a lot of the like haunted house mansion stuff that they did, and I feel like they had like some really cool effects and like monster stuff that happened in it. And it just goes really wild and crazy towards the end. And I just really liked it's just like a really cool, like independent movie that like really worked. But Renfield is like a big like studio kind of film with Nick Cage and Nicholas Hoult and the two Nicks together. Finally,
The two Nicks.
And I love both of those actors. I'm a huge Nick Cage fan, so I was very excited for Renfield. I wanted it to be a lot better, so I'm disagreeing with you, Hunter. I liked Onyx more. I didn't hate Renfield. I just think there's some things, especially if I rewatch it, I think like the Aquafina stuff, I don't think really worked for me all that much.
Wow,
I
surprising.
think the best kind of part of it was diving into the toxic relationship between the two. I think it's kind of a like poke fun at like narcissism and poke eyes at it and stuff. But I feel like it's also some of the effects in Renfield just looked so fake to me. Like it was so over the top they looked fake. Maybe that was the point. I don't know. But I was sitting there like I was like, I don't know about this movie. Is it good? Is it bad? I think I'm like in the middle on Renfield. I like some of it, but I don't love a lot of it. So I'll go Onyx. I think it's a better made movie.
Carrie?
Yeah, seeing Onyx was really cool because I used to listen to the director Andrew Bowser's podcast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that was really cool to like see him like fully make a film and everything, like because he's like an independent filmmaker and he might have had to do a GoFundMe or Kickstarter. I can't really that might not be accurate at all though.
Might have.
I really enjoyed it. It was, I think, of the 2 horror movies we watched at Sundance, this was definitely my favorite. But I liked Renfield just a little bit more, I think. I thought all the things that Chad thought were like over the top and ridiculous, I thought were hilarious. Like, I think the the arms getting ripped off and stuff, and like people getting like just like.
Yeah, that stuff looked really bad to me.
I thought it was really funny. Like whenever like Nicholas Holt's character would like his name is Renfield in the movie, of course it is.
Yeah.
Like what's his name? Whenever Renfield would kind of like Hulk out or whatever, I thought it was really fun.
I liked when he got like his apartment and he made it really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. That action sequence is really good though. Like going like fighting from the apartment stairs.
Yeah.
I'll rewatch it. I did dig quite a bit of it, but some of it.
One of my favorite jokes in this movie is the he's sitting at the diner and Renfield or Dracula calls him. He's like, Renfield, I want victims. I want a bunch of cheerleaders in a school bus, and then the cheerleaders in the school bus run past him. It's so funny.
So now we're moving on to Poor Things, which I'm the only one who's seen this movie yet, versus Infinity Pool.
So you guys only seen one of these.
Two strange movies, I'm sure.
Yep.
So all right. I can start.
Yeah, go ahead, Chad.
I'm the only one who's seen Poor Things. Hunter's the only one who's seen Infinity Pool. That's where we're at. So Carrie's seen neither. I love Poor Things. It's a movie that I didn't know how I would like because I know it's weird. I haven't loved every single Yorgos movie. I knew it was like gonna be like really, really like sex heavy and stuff like that. So I just wasn't really sure like what to expect from this. But when I came through, I was like, wow, this is a horror movie. It's like a take on Frankenstein. There's a lot of weird like imagery in it and the kind of horrifying stuff in it. But it's also a comedy. It's also drama and romance and all the stuff kind of mixed into one. But I think on its foundation, it is in concept, like kind of like a universal horror movie kind of a deal. But in it, I love Emma Stone's arc in it. It has a lot of like really feminist vibes to it, which I really dug. The comedy is really fun. When you guys see this, you're going to die laughing, I think, at Mark Ruffalo. I can't wait to see this movie. Because Mark Ruffalo he does like an accent. He's very, very dumb in the movie. It's just really funny to see him. I can't wait to rewatch it with Carrie. Emma Stone, she has like a whole evolution in the movie, and she just really, really nails it. And I hope to see her get a Best Actress win this year. I know the film's going to get nominated for Best Picture. She's definitely going to get nominated for Actress, but we'll see if she'll win. It's just a lot of really great great stuff in it. It's just so weird, and I really, really liked it. Infinity Pool I haven't seen. I haven't heard a lot of great things in like the bubble that I'm in, but Hunter liked it, I think, and he's heard a lot of really great things. So I'm interested to check it out just to see where I fall on it. I don't think I'll like it as much as Poor Things, but that's a high bar for me. So I'm interested to see what you guys say.
I'll go next since Carrie hasn't seen either, and she can make her
Yeah.
decision at the end. So yeah, I haven't seen Poor Things yet. I just haven't been able to get out to the theaters to see it. I am very interested to see it because the word of mouth is really good for it. I heard that Emma Stone is amazing in this movie, so I can't wait to see it. But the only one I have seen is Infinity Pool, which is my choice. I love body horror, and this does body horror in a very unique psychological way. Mia Goth is amazing in this movie as always. She really controls the screen in this movie. Like her presence is really felt. I think the twists and turns in this movie are really good. The body horror is incredible with really good practical effects. And overall, I think it's more of a mindfuck horror movie that I personally enjoy. But I cannot wait to see Poor Things. But my pick is obviously Infinity Pool because I haven't had time to go see it. Carrie?
Yeah, this is tough because I've seen neither. But I'll say on the whole, I've heard better things about Poor Things. Like I've heard some good things about Infinity Pool, but I've heard that parts of it are like either slow or not as good as other parts. Poor Things, I think I've really only heard good things about, and it also seems like maybe more my vibe. So I'm gonna go Poor Things.
All right. Poor Things moves on.
Yeah, it's because I know Carrie loves The Favorite and no other Yorgos film, and I'm
Yeah.
I'm on a similar page as her because I don't love the other ones, but I'd say this is like The Favorite but weirder. All right, so moving on, Poor Things. I swear it's a horror movie. It's really good. All right, so now we're gonna go up here, and we'll let you know if we have to vamp while maybe Carrie runs to the baby if he has to.
Yeah.
Be a
Hopefully he's just
All right, so now we're moving on. We got Megan versus Saw X. All right, we've all talked about these, so we don't have to like go
Yeah.
on about all of them. But you can give a few thoughts about why you're picking whatever if you want.
All right, I'll start. Yeah, I'm going Saw X. Again, I love the traps. I love Tobin Bell in this movie. Overall, I think the traps and the story really get put over the edge of Megan.
Yeah, I'm also going Saw X. Like Megan, I just wasn't that into, and Saw X really surprised me. Carrie,
I would have said Megan.
we sorry. All right, moving on to the next one. We got Talk to Me versus Scream 6.
No, this is
No,
tough.
no. I'll go. I'm gonna go Talk to Me. I'm a diehard Scream fan, but I'm a diehard Wes Craven Scream fan, and that's no shade to Radio Silence what they did. I know that they have a ton of fans on their side. For me, I like a lot of what they did. I don't love every single thing that they did, and them leaving kind of like made me go like, well, they could have really won me over, I think, if they would have stayed and made Scream 7 really great. But, we'll never get that. However, I do think Scream 6 is still a very good film, but Talk to Me has the potential, if I rewatch it and really think about it, has the potential to be like an all-timer for me. And I really do just think it's the best horror movie of 2023. So Talk to Me is my pick.
Carrie?
I'm actually gonna go Scream here. I don't. It's something about Talk to Me. Like I recognize it's really good, objectively, but I also just I didn't love it as much as I loved Scream 6. So this is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, this one is really tough because Talk to Me and Scream 6 are like my top two of last year.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. Talk to Me is brilliant, but it's a movie like Hereditary I can't watch all the time because it makes me just too depressed and my anxiety gets too high. But in the right moment, the movie is brilliant and I will watch it again eventually. Scream 6 is just so fun, and it's one I could put on and watch with any of the other Scream movies and just Like they're my comfort movie. I can go to them and watch any of them and have fun with them. Slight edge to Scream 6.
But we're talking about what's the best movie. Oh well, we're not going to get it here. It's fine. All right, moving on to the other side of the bracket. We have Thanksgiving versus Knock at the Cabin. Carrie.
Thanksgiving.
Chad?
Yeah, I'll also go Thanksgiving here. I do think it's the better made movie.
Yeah, Thanksgiving as well.
All right. And we'll move on. Renfield versus Poor Things. I obviously am gonna go Poor Things here, but
Yeah.
I know I'm probably gonna get outvoted just because no one else has seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and so I'll have to go Renfield.
Yeah, same here.
But again, that could change once I see the film.
Bracket's going to shit already. Okay. We have Saw X versus I think Scream 6.
Ooh, okay. This one's actually tougher. I'll start with this one. I'm gonna go. This is really tough. Again, I'm gonna go Scream 6. I have more fun with it. Chad?
I don't like at all how this bracket is turning out. Yeah, I think Scream 6 is probably the more watchable one overall. I think Saw X. I have to rewatch both of them to be honest, just to be sure. But I think Saw X because it's like kind of divorced itself from the rest of the franchise, that it's just like really great, like self-contained movie, which I can't say for Scream 6. But it's still like a Scream movie. I'd rather see a Scream movie win than a Saw movie, so I'll go Scream 6 as well.
Carrie?
Scream 6.
All right. Thanksgiving versus Renfield.
Chad, you want to start with this one?
Sure. Thanksgiving is a better movie than Renfield.
Carrie?
Renfield.
Yeah, slight edge to Thanksgiving.
Okay. All right. Scream 6 versus Thanksgiving.
This is funny. Carrie, you want to start?
Yeah, I'm going Scream 6 here.
Chad?
I'd have to rewatch both of them because honestly, I think Thanksgiving might be a scarier movie. I think it might be a better movie when you factor in comedy, the way the kills are constructed, all that stuff. But with Scream 6, you have a lot of really great, franchise recognition and stuff like that, like callbacks to like the whole series is really cool. There are like really good story moments in it. I don't know. It's one that we will see a better picture of later on if we ever get a Scream 7, which I'm sure we will, but what form it will take, I don't know. And then what will Scream 6 look like then? What if Scream 7's incredible and we're just like, fuck everything else, dude? Just give me Scream.
I will say the great thing about Scream 6 though is if Scream 7 has nothing to do with Scream 6, just because Radio Silence is not there, most of the actors aren't there, then Scream 5 and 6 do make a really great 2 movie. Like a beginning, middle, and end with her dropping the mask at the end is like a beginning and an end. So it kind of is its own unique story.
I agree with that. But yeah, I'll go Scream 6 slightly. Because I think I'm probably going to get outvoted even if I went Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is really good, and it's so close. But yeah, again, Scream 6 is my comfort movie. Scream as a whole is my comfort franchise. So yeah, definitely going Scream 6.
Okay.
So what we'll probably do is we'll probably retitle this our favorite horror movies, just to make it more like subjective. As in, like, we all picked our favorites, not what is the absolute best. I think that might be the way to go.
I mean, it's just because I'm being an incredible snob right now, but I can be that way. But
No, not that. Just in general, I feel like if we do our favorites and not the best, because if we do best, then people are going to be like, where is this movie and this movie that should be on the list. If we do our favorites, then it gives us more. It opens it more to movies like Renfield and Knock at the Cabin that may not be the best,
I see what you're
but
saying.
they can be.
Yeah, it doesn't
our
matter.
favorites.
Like, top movies or just favorite movies. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, I'm disappointed in a way just because like Talk to Me, I think should have at least been in the top 4. It is just how the bracket played out, but honestly, from my opinion, I think Talk to Me is not only the best horror movie of last year, it's just maybe of the decade. Although I may be hyping it up too much. I might rewatch it and go, maybe I was hyping it up in my mind too much.
Just for me personally, I went Scream 6 over Talk to Me because
I heard,
Talk to Me is a really it's the better made movie. I agree, but the ones that I will go back and rewatch, I can't see myself rewatching Talk to Me as often because of how the subject matter and how depressing it is. Kind of like Hereditary and Midsommar. I can't go back and rewatch those constantly, even though they're well made movies.
For me, I can rewatch Hereditary all the time just because of how well made it is. You can watch Eraserhead all the time because of how well made it is. And same Talk to Me. Scream 6, honestly, I know you can just throw it on Hunter just like the just any time because you just love it. For me, Scream 6 is going to be like almost an obligation watch because I'm watching the entire series again. But hopefully, it's going to be down the line because I did like it more than Scream 5. So I'm hoping down the line it'll be the one that when we watch through the series again, we get to Scream 6, and then I'm like...
And you're excited for it.
And I'm excited for it, and not like, here we go. I'm hoping that I go like, Scream 5, don't love it. And then, but next, Scream 6, yes. And then hopefully Scream 7 will just be even better. So that's what I'm hoping. We'll see what happens to that.
Thoughts on how the bracket went?
Yeah, I would have said Scream 6.
That was your favorite?
Yeah, well, between Scream 6 and Thanksgiving.
No, but I mean, like, is that what you would have picked to win it from the beginning? Scream 6?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We both said that at the exact same time. Overall, I think this was a great year of horror. I think we had a lot of great moments. We had a great movies. I can't wait to see what 2024 has to offer because there's always unique directors coming in and really showing their stamp in horror. I know we have a lot of horror movies from franchises coming and things like that. So I'm super excited to see what 2024 holds. Guys, thoughts on 2023 and the upcoming year before we head out?
Well, I would just say I think 2022 was probably a better year for horror than 2023.
Yeah.
But 2023 still had some really bright spots, and obviously I'm always going to hope that the next year is going to be even better. So, I hope 2024 gives us some really great surprises.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do before we head out?
Nope.
All right, guys. Let's remove this. Is there anything that you guys want to plug for the upcoming year?
Watch Young Sheldon. I mean, it's no, don't. I don't know. I've never seen Young Sheldon. Fireplace.
That was playing on the back then.
It did, and then I was
apparently, if you watch The Fireplace on Netflix, a lot of people then go to Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
I see. Chad, you want to promote anything?
Yeah, watch Scream 6. It's apparently very good. Also watch Talk to Me, but you might get depressed, I guess. Watch my channel, Chadwick Webb. We rank stuff. We do other things, reviews, reactions, lots of other stuff. We have a lot of fun over there. Check out the Dill Pickle Movie Network where we do just a ton of stuff. He just added a bunch more stuff. So, watch his live video that he did where he just announces a lot of really fun stuff he has planned for 2024. But mainly I do a show called Picture This where we watch every film nominated for Best Picture, and we're going in January this month we're going to 1927/1928, the very first year.
Ooh.
So I'm watching a lot of silent films, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, check that out. Check out all that stuff on that channel, and I'm working on another review blog, and once I get that ready, I'll be able to promote that. But check out my letterbox, stuff like that. And yeah, I think that's it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Carrie, anything you want to plug before we go?
Nope.
As always, all right. If you guys did enjoy this podcast, hit that like button, subscribe to Nerd Entertainment Network down below. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.